very often I record video of unboxing something, but I gotta get this on video because this is how this showed up. Obviously, I've opened the box. It didn't arrive opened like that, but, extraordinarily subpar packaging. And whether it survived intact or not, I'm going to note that in my feedback to the eBay seller. Yeah, that's all in the world they used for bubble wrap. There's probably some on the other side too, but yeah, and I don't understand why people think that snowman crap is a adequate packaging material. I wish they'd stop making it, because it's, first of all, it's probably hazardous to the environment. Second of all, not good. So let me see if I can get this out of here without making a total mess out of everything. And then we can maybe get a chance to see if it survived. Not very promising. Well, I tried. Still made a mess. Well, precursory examination. It's actually not bad. Not bad at all. 1997. Now, obviously, you'll know what this is by the time you see this video, because it'll be in the video title, but it's a pretty neat little device. Let's see if I can actually get it down here without messing everything up. There are some unsettling noises coming from it, but we'll see if we can get the rest of this packaging crap off of it. Okay, taking a quick look here. Looks like we are intact pretty much entirely. This actually has a zip drive in it. I mentioned that already. I'll be surprised if it works. There you go. This is a 9600-300, which I believe is a fairly uncommon a fairly uncommon Macintosh, because shortly after these were introduced, they introduced the G3 and discontinued them. Or maybe it was just that the G3 was so much better that everybody just ordered a G3. I believe that there was also an 8600 in the same case. And of course the G3 used this case as well, or at least the same general design. There's no onboard video. There could be, but this one doesn't have it. I'm assuming it had a video card down there at some point. Let's see if we can get this cover off without too much trouble. There's a fan. Seems to be intact. Not really sure what all this is. Set that aside here. And have a look-see inside, at least. See if we can find anything. Well, there's the card down there. I think it looks like this does have a hard drive in it. Something sounds like it's loose. Well, other than this, what is this? Oh, here's your video card. Twin turbo. TI chip on it. It's obviously Macintosh based because it's got the DB15 connection. Doesn't look like anything else is missing. It's got the processor card in there. So, is the floppy drive even plugged in? Oh, I guess it gets power from the bus on a Macintosh like this. So, I'll put that video card back. I was told that this didn't power up, but like I said, I'll put that card back. and I'll plug it in and I'll see what it happens to do. Looks like this actually has 2 hard drives, because there's another one right there. Is that SCSI or is that IDE? Can't tell. But yeah, it's got 2 hard drives, so that's kind of neat. Okay, before pinning it up, I've made some discoveries. Number 1 is how to actually access all this stuff underneath. So there are 6 total PCI slots. I reseated that processor card because it came unseated. This thing is SCSI through and through, which kind of surprises me. I would have expected to see IDE on something like this, but I guess not. That's a proprietary power supply, so if it's bad, we've got a problem. Likewise, this concerns me, this little white thing here in the middle. I don't know exactly what that is. I'm hoping that it's for an accelerator and not for something like a ROM sim, or some kind of other ROM device that obviously I don't have and probably never will find. This looks like PC-133. I don't know if this is a standard memory configuration. It might be, because it looks like, yeah, so there's 6 slots and then another 6 slots, so it could be valid, but it's kind of a weird alignment for those. Anyway, I pulled the battery out. I don't think it'll make much of a difference. I'm sure it's dead anyway. Some of these little purple things. So now we can try and power it up. Okay. I'm going to just plug it in, because I want to see what it's going to do, if anything. My suspicion is that it won't do much of anything. I don't know where the right power plug is. It's right there. Something went pop. I don't see any smoke. And that computer over there is still running, which is plugged into the same power strip. So, let's see what happens. No chime. Not a good sign. Before you watch the rest of this video, I would like to address some of the things that I say going forward in this video before some too clever by-half Macintosh enthusiast calls me on them in the comments. The 9600 in general is not necessarily rare. Now, it is my carefully considered belief that they're not exactly common either, because number 1, they were expensive when they were new. I mean, take a look at the model history there. This was Apple's flagship desktop computer at the time, but they also weren't on the market very long, and the G3 was cheaper and faster, so most people bought those. However, the rare bird designation is not the 9600 in general. It is the 9600 350, which was only on the market for maybe a couple months at best before it was discontinued due to a lack of available CPUs, as you can see there. It was only on the market for a couple months. It was introduced in August and discontinued in October. Not the 300. The 300 stayed on the market for a little bit longer until it was discontinued in favor of the Power Mac G3. Looking at the spec listing here, we can see what kind of video card we've got. It does look like that, as you can see. But given we have a 300, that should be an 8 megabyte card. So that's pretty nice. I also mentioned in the video that I thought it was running macOS 7 at first, and I was confused because my understanding was that macOS 8 had long been out by the time the Power Mac 9600 came out. Now, that's not totally true. If we take a look here at macOS 8, we can see it was released in July of 1997. The Power Macintosh 9600 300 came out in August of 1997. So, 2 weeks, probably about 2 weeks, somewhere around there, after macOS 8. So yes, it seems kind of odd to me that it shipped with System 7.6. The other thing that you'll see in this video is that the base hardware has changed in this machine. It still has 64 megabytes of memory, which it would have shipped with. See there. However, the CPU has been changed to a G3. Now, how it was changed to a G3, I don't know. That might be an official Apple card, it might be an aftermarket replacement, I didn't investigate it. But I was also confused about the Gestalt ID that showed up on the machine, because it was 67. And I happened to, in my brief research while I was looking this up, confused by the processor, because I thought that maybe it had been upgraded to a Power Mac G3, but it wasn't. That's not what the ID is. I found a listing that showed the system as being a 9500 120, which is certainly true. You can see there, the 9500 120 shows up when you look up the ID of 67. However, you scroll down on this list, right there it is, 9600 300. So that really is just kind of meaningless and doesn't have any bearing on a whole lot of stuff. Here's the page for the G3 300, and you can see here Gestalt ID of 510, which when you look it up is 1FE, as I mentioned in the video. Confusing matters is if we look at this resource here, which is a fairly good resource most of the time, and we go all the way down and look at the ID there, it looks like it should be 105. But that's not what we've got, so I don't know why this is different from everybody else, but apparently it is. Okay, when I left off with this thing, it was not working. It would power on, the lights would come on, hard drives would spin up, but it wouldn't do anything else. The last video clips were recorded back in June of last year. And after I had shot that video, this thing basically went out into storage on the basis of I've got too many projects going on. I'll set it aside until I'm ready to work on it. Well, it is now February. And I was going through, and I figured, well, it's now or never. I'm either going to work on it now, or I'm never going to work on it. So, I brought it back here to take another look at this. This, of course, being the Power Macintosh 9600 300. What was wrong with this is actually very simple, or at least I hope that it's very simple, and that it's actually the problem that I'm not going to find that this thing has died again in the time that it's taken for me to actually get to this video. And just kind of sort of drives home the point that these things are very difficult to work on, because I had no idea that this was actually the problem. Now, having said that, there's probably a lot of folks out there that would take a look at the last video clips and go, "You idiot, I know what the problem is right away." And here you are hemming and hawing about what could possibly be the problem. Well, you gotta factor in the fact that I am, quite frankly, even though my computer collection got started with Apple Macintoshes, at least the one that you see on YouTube got started with Apple Macintoshes, I am a Macintosh noob. Never really cared for them. Never really worked on them, never really did anything with them. Back when they were still commonplace and worthless. Because at that point in time, the school that I went to still had Macintoshes, and I thought, well, these are not interesting. If I want to use a Mac, I can go to school. What's the point? I don't really want to go to school, so I don't really want to use a Mac either. It just really wasn't interesting to me. And of course, now that they are interesting, they're expensive. Especially these, because my understanding is that the Power Macintosh 9600 is kind of a rare beast. And that most people, because there were production delays with these, most people just opted to buy G3s instead. But what I've done is I've changed the PCI slot that the video was plugged in. It was in the bottommost slot before, I think. It's in the topmost slot now. I got a keyboard and a mouse. Let's see what happens this time. That is a lot more promising. There's your video. I hope the mouse actually works. And now it's booting into the Mac OS. Does the mouse work? Yay, the mouse works. Alright. Sort of. I should probably get a proper mouse pad for that. But, rather interestingly, this looks like this is running Mac OS 7 of some flavor. And I would have thought that a 9600 would be way too new for Mac OS 7. But maybe my timing is not quite correct. We're not out of the woods yet. It might be running, but I'm pretty sure that the fan for the CPU is not working. Of course, I got an error message because I was playing with it without a keyboard attached. I'm not sure how the little quick launch bar ended up there. The control strip. I don't know how that ended up there, but that's where it is. So let's see, what version of the Mac OS are we running? Oh, it's 8.1. Certainly makes sense. 64 megabytes of memory with virtual memory turned off. That's not that great. We do have 2 hard drives. Both of those appear to be accounted for. I'm going to see if I can find a mouse pad and correct this, and then I'll be back. We got an error message. Your Macintosh has lost communication with your scanner. Oh no. Whatever are we going to do about that? I didn't get a mouse pad, and I thought that this was going to work. Obviously, it's not. This isn't great either, but this is probably the best I'm going to get. So let's see. Since this is Mac OS 8, there is a system profiler. You can see PowerPC G3. Wait a minute, what the heck is this? Well, that's a little disappointing. It is a 9600, I think. Let me look up that machine ID and see if maybe the motherboard's been upgraded. Or, I'm sorry, it's not a motherboard. Forgive me, I'm a PC guy. Logic board. To see if the logic board's been upgraded. Well, this is an intriguing turn of events because ID67 is not a Power Macintosh G3, and I didn't think it was because I thought that that was 1FE. But no. The 67 is also not a 9600. That's a Power Mac 9500 120. Would have had a Laser Writer 8 at some point. Hooked up to it, apparently. There's 2 hard drives. This is SCSI only. There is no IDE on this, which again, I think is a dead giveaway that this isn't a Power Mac G3, because I thought that even the beige G3s, I think, had IDE on them. So, it doesn't tell us what it is. Or really anything about it. Well, it's right there. Bus 0, ID 0, even though it doesn't show up there. 4 gigabytes with about 1 gigabyte used. The backup drive is 1.1 gigabytes. That's probably the original hard drive that they're just using for backups. So, let's see. What else do we have here? Device information. Ah, this will tell us a little bit more. So yeah, that's an upgrade drive, that DCAS drive. Right there. Oh, there's... Hold on a minute. No. Give me a minute. I'll come back to that. Quantum Fireball, that's probably the original drive, 1280. 1280S, so it's basically the same thing as the 1280 AT that I've got in something or another. I think I have that in one of my Dells. CD-ROM, nothing fancy there. And an iOmega Zip 100, because yes, this does actually have a zip drive in it. I don't know if the 9500 is quite as much of a rare bird as the 9600 is. I don't know if I'm really in a hurry to find a 9600 board, because I don't know how much I care, really. So, it does have 2 SCSI buses. Kind of interesting. But everything, of course, is only on the one bus. I hope it's not overheating. That was a thought process that I had. Now, I'm not really interested in perusing owner's files on here, on this video. But first things first, let's see if we can drag this control strip back to where it belongs. Alright, you press and hold the Option key, then you can drag it to where it should go. Now, I'm not going to be able to adjust any of the display. Oh, I can. I'm kind of surprised. Well, I can certainly adjust that, but I can't really adjust the resolution, because I've got one of those adapters that forces a resolution on this. So here's the speaker. Sounds decent. Let's see. Monitors and sound. I don't know where those came from. Of course, that's my personal favorite. Does this have any interesting control panels? Doesn't look like it's really got anything else installed. Earthlink. Open dock. Let me take a look here and see what we've got. Well, there's certainly not nothing. Let's see. Power Mac README Part 1. What is this? Power Macintosh. Does it say anything about what machine this is? This monitor doesn't really render this properly. You can see there's white streaks, or at least I can see that there's white streaks. I don't know if they'll show up in the video. Huh, yeah, see, look at this. 8600. This is, apparently, I guess it must be the 9600. What does this have for extensions loaded? Oh, crap, I don't want that still open. Let's see, come on. I need to get a proper, yeah, 9600 graphics accelerator is loaded. It looks like. Yeah, it's enabled. So it's loading that, which probably makes sense because that video card probably actually is the original video card. I don't remember what exactly it is. Looked like a TI board or some description or another. Open Transport, Netscape Navigator, Paperport. It's on the backups. Probably user files, I'd imagine, right? Or is this also bootable? This is also bootable. Almost looks like the same stuff. Install AOL 3.0.1. That's a blast from the past. Alright. So, probably not much really to look at on this. It does have some of the Apple extras installed. About the Mac OS. It looks like it's completely empty. Yeah, I don't know. There's an applications folder. Apple Video Player. I don't know if this comes with a sample or not. Oh. Yeah, I don't think there is. There's that install AOL again. So there's not much in terms of files on this. I'm probably only going to keep the one hard drive. I don't really see a need to have two hard drives in this. Although I might just leave both drives. Maybe experiment with it a little bit. I've never had a dual boot Apple system, come to think about it. No, that's not true. I have had the OS X machines. I've usually put Classic on that, and technically that's dual boot. You could boot still in the OS 9, at least on most of them. You know, I've never had a G5 or anything like that. What's in there? Claris emailer, internet dialer. This is Netscape 3.01. So what's this? Java Accelerator for PowerPC. August 13th of 1998. I don't know why Stuffit Expander is in there. Oh, this is Netscape 4. And there's a name. I can't show that. No, I don't care about the profile. Make a new one. Oh, I don't even want a profile. So we'll just quit out of that. So I guess we're not opening that. Let's try Navigator 3. See if that works. Yeah, that works without any ill effects. Netscape was unable to create a network socket connection. Network may be down. Well, it is. Is there any history on this? I don't know. Command H for history. Oh, I guess not. Oh well. So there's some stuff. I don't know why there's a Stuffit Expander folder in there, but User Profile Manager. So there's probably some stuff that's been deleted, which is fair. It's not like I really care that much. What's under Utilities? Disk setup, stuff. So I'll go ahead and I'll reboot it so you can hear the speaker a little bit louder. So stay tuned. I suppose there will be more videos. But there you go. The machine lives. And we now know what's in it. It could have a Sonnet upgrade card in it, but I don't think it does, because if it had a Sonnet card, usually there's an enabler that's on there that would tell you that it's got a Sonnet upgrade card. But yeah, even though the packaging job wasn't that great, it did arrive in one piece and functions just fine. Thanks for watching, and if you've got any comments, feel free to leave them below.